8 tips. But before I get into all those tips, guys, I want to talk about one more thing that you said. You said you're killing yourself, Billy. You're killing yourself. Well, maybe you are, man. But kiss my ass. I doubt it. I really doubt you're killing yourself. I doubt you even know what killing yourself is. A friend of mine told me a story. I forget who it was or how long ago. But the story's about a guy. He goes to one of those self-help motivational speeches, you know, that held hotels and stuff, and he pays his dues, and he sits there amongst hundreds of people and listening to the keynote speaker talk about his life, his success, how he came from the rubble and came up to be this monumental force of nature that everyone wants to know the secret of. You know, because he holds something that none of us had. If we know it, then we too can stand on that plateau of that shit, you know, that echelon success like him. Yeah, so this guy was so intrigued by what he said that after the convention, he went up to him and he said, "Hey, I've been to a bunch of these self-help things, and you know, something that you said gravitated towards me. It just hit my loins and just vibrated inside of me. And it just made total sense. So much so that I need to hear more. You know, be one of your pupils and allow you to be my mentor. Is there any way I can pay you to teach me more of your principles and teachings?" And he's like, "No, you can't pay me. But what you can do tomorrow morning, I fly out at noon. You can show up on the beach at this location at 6 a.m. Show up and we'll talk." The guy's like, "I'm there. Thank you so much, man. I totally appreciate it. Oh my God, what a great day." So he goes to sleep, he wakes up, and he shows up at 6 a.m. And the guy's there, mentor. That was the first test. The guy actually showed up. Because so few of us ever show up, it seems like. So the guy showed up. We're on the beach, I'm talking, and I go, "Wow, why are we on the beach?" Well, this guy's dressed like a business, you know, business casual and everything else. He said, "Why are we on the beach?" He's like, "Because we're going to walk towards the water." He's like, all right. So he's walking towards the water and everything else. And the mentor continues to walk and walks in the water. And this guy's like, "Dude, what are you doing?" I'm not walking in the water. You know, I got a nice, you know, suit on, you know. I can't tarnish this or destroy this. He goes, "There you are. Already, you want to learn so much of the secret, so much of what it is, so much about what I've done to overcome these adversities in life. And right as you start, you're questioning what you know is right, which has gotten you to the place that you are currently at. You're questioning what you know, not trusting what I know." I think it's really, really key right there. Because we get caught up in our lives so much, but we believe everything we're doing is the right thing. And we never step outside the bounds to really see the neighbor's grass, you know, from the other side, to see which is greener. We're just stuck in our own environment so much that we start to think that this is the universe. The universe is this. It's not until you lose that bias, maybe. So the guy's like, "Are you gonna come or not?" And finally's like, "Shit, fuck. I guess I will." So this guy walks out into the ocean too in his nice, outfit. And he's like, the mentor's like, "Come on, keep following me." Going deeper and deeper and deeper. It turns to him physically and dunks him under the water and holds him. Don't let him out. This guy's like, "Oh, what the fuck's going on?" This guy went psycho with me. He's trying to drown me, kill me. He's fighting for everything he has to get out of there, his air and everything else. This guy won't let him up, no matter what he tries. He would not let him up. He's struggling, he's moving, he's twisting. Will not let him up. It's not until the student fucking punches the mentor. The mentor loses his wind for a second there, loosening his grip up, gives him the window of opportunity to escape his holdings, and he fucking gets some air. And when he gets the air, his first words, once he gets some, "What the fuck?" But now you know what giving your all is. You will not succeed in business or any endeavor in life until that fight you just went through is applied to the same endeavor. It's too fucking hard of a world out there. And Billy, if you're trying to lose weight for the girls and the beats, like you just said, buddy, you don't have enough fight. You're going to drown right there. It's never going to be successful. Think of that, guys. You guys are saying you're doing everything right. You're giving your all. Come on. Come on. Your eyes a lot more than you know. You got more inside of you to give. Stop selling yourself so short.
Hey, the shower ended 30 minutes ago. I know, I'm sorry, but hear me out.
She's right. I'm Matt, member of Nectar's legal team. Fact is, Julie overslept. According to Section 8A, line 14 of the Hormonal Bylaws, it states that Nectar mattresses' unparalleled comfort may lead to excessive slumber, so she cannot be held responsible. Also, here's a gift. It's bath beads and a snot sucker.
What's up, guys? Got a great video blog for you, man. It comes from my man Marcus. He's in Atlanta, Georgia. Wants to know about motivation, man. Where do you go to find that motivation? We keep the fight alive. When you're down that path, all you're seeing is rejection and adversity and demise. How do you continue that path from the monkey on your back? Feels like a 500-pound gorilla weighing you down. How do you put one foot in front of the other? The journey and that endeavor of life and cross that finish line. Let's read into this. Brett, your site has helped me tremendously to transform my body. And I cannot thank you enough for that. I don't want to discredit all the amazing workouts and nutritional information on your site. And what you've done for me mentally outweighs all the physical gains I'm so proud of. Your motivation and inspiration has really changed my life and early changed my family's life as well. The outlook on life is so contagious that I find myself going to your site every day to keep the motivation alive inside myself. You do that for me, and I cannot thank you enough. I guess I was wondering, where do you go for motivation to keep the fire alive? And where do you turn to after a bad day to ensure you stay on track? Marcus, Atlanta, Georgia. Marcus, you answer that question? You just answer it like. That's the $1 million question right there. It's really hard to answer it. I'm going to do my best shot. You say, talk about motivation, how to find motivation. And you say, where do I go physically? Marcus, I don't go anywhere physically for motivation. I go there visually. Let me explain that. If your mouth is a window to your body, and the nutrition that comes through your mouth enables your body to grow strong and have a capable fundamental structure of whatever you want to do physically. Your eyes are the window to your soul of belief, inspiration, of willpower. And just like when you put something in your mouth and you chew it, it can either enhance the physique of yourself or be the demise depending on what you're eating. And seeing to is truth what you see. There's a visual diet out there that's good and bad. There's negative energy if you look at it and you focus on, you allow that to come in, it'd be a demise of your willpower. The demise of your self-confidence, what you can be and what you believe in. You focus on negative so much, you start to believe that negative shit exists in you. That's a negative unhealthy diet. Visually. Must focus on positive things in life. Well then, see you. When you go through your day, guys, there's a million of these examples out there. When you see them, stop yourself in their tracks. Give credit. Remember the name of that person that did something. The kind of man overcame the odds and did the impossible. When you see that, take notice. And remember that. Because you will use it later in your own journey. When you're feeling fatigued and weak. That'll be a spark that keeps you going on that journey when that gorilla is on top of you. And it's sure to get through that finish. But having a sound diet physically and a sound diet visually, the ability, the power of what you believe in is true. And then building the body of which can make you anything that you want capable is only 2/3 of the equation. There's one big missing element that Marcus is talking about here. There's no name for that element. Call it the X factor if you want. But that X factor must exist. Even if you have the healthiest physical diet and the healthiest visual diet, it's not enough. Those two are like a sailboat out at sea with no harbor to sail for. In that situation, the best wind is no wind. Because you don't know where you're going. That's the X factor. The want. What you want in life. You have the physical body to do something. You have the mental capacity to believe in it. And what the fuck do you want? When you want something that collides all three of them into the trifecta, it makes the uncommon man remembered for generations. Because he achieved the impossible and changed the basic framework, the blueprint society in which we live our life. The one is in us. That X factor is in every single one of us, guys. It's a seed that's planted at birth inside of every single soul. 99% of the people never let that seed blossom into anything. It goes buried because they don't know how to nourish it. They don't know how to feed it, caress it, protect it. So it blossoms into the strength of remembrance to be a role model and example of passion, strength, where pride is stronger than steel, you know? That seed is not a genetic code. I mean, it's not like someone has a big seed, someone has a small seed. We all have the same seed. And it's the trials and tribulations of life that either make that seed blossom or not. How do we feed that seed? Well, there's a lot of different ways. Just like eating, there's good foods you can eat to make the body strong. Just like the visual nutrition that comes in, there's positive stories of people overcoming the odds. The X factor, the nutrition content is two things, two recipes. One's fear, one's failure. And they're the only two that grow it. Fear, failure. There's a kid, worked for the Kansas City Star newspaper. And he was fired because, he was doing a poor job. The boss told him that his dismissal was because of his lack of original thought. He didn't have any creative ability. Wasn't good for the newspaper, so I let him go. You know, he still knew what he wanted though. So he kept pushing for what he wanted. What he really loved was actually being creative. Even though his boss couldn't see it. I like to draw sketches of animals and stuff, cartoons or whatever else. So he resorted to eating dog biscuits for food. Always. Still, kept going. Scrounged up enough money, enough coin to get on a train out to Hollywood back in the day. With Universal with another girl. Universal liked it a lot, man. I started talking to him, negotiating a deal. It's my chance. All along, Universal went underneath him and silently patented. I was able to grab it from under him. He didn't have the money to patent it. Universal just took the idea and ran with it, left him on his ass. Again, failure. Still, he found intestinal fortitude to stand back up. Continue fighting for what he wanted. And what was so strong, it outweighed all the despair, all the negative energy, all the failures, all the adversity and rejection, disbelief from everybody else. His belief was stronger than the crowd's disbelief. So he continued on his path, and he came with another character, the mouse. I was like, you're crazy, man. That mouse is going to scare ladies and kids. No one's going to want to see that mouse. Man, he said, I think so. I think they will. So much so, I'm going to name that mouse Mickey. I think you know the rest of the Walt Disney story. The Walt Disney Empire rakes in billions of dollars every single year through TV and film and theme parks. 1996, they bought ABC. Just so happened ABC was a mother company of a small little newspaper called the Kansas City Star. They say success is the greatest form of revenge. And they felt pretty good for Walt. The company fired him. He rose above it so much, but the company bought it. He bought that company. Like that. That's a good visual nutrition. It's so in the member. A guy wanted something. So much so that failure became his strength. Failure formed the other characters. Failure made him wiser. So in the final gold mine, he was ready for it, and he scored. Another kid growing up didn't even speak until the age 4. Didn't even know how to read until age 7. He was so far behind his peer group at a young age that they just called him stupid. Inability to learn, to rock. So much so that they expelled him. Parents pick him up and say, yo, he's bringing down like all the other students. Slowing the progress down of the collective group. Gotta go. Get out of here. Don't need that. They said he was mentally challenged. Parents think, great, gotta be dark here or something, I don't know. They put in work. Got fired from every single job he had for years. At 21 years old, he got fired again. Every job he tried, he got fired. So all he's seen in life is failure, rejection, all he knows. So much so that when he found his want, what it was that he wanted, he continued to pursue it and pursue it and pursue it. And his dream and his idea failed over 1,000 times. The same dream. Exactly 1,093 times it failed. Until he finally got it right. And the light bulb lit. That was Thomas Edison. Sure glad he kept going. Here's a guy that, once he found out his want, the nourishment of that want was fear and failure. It's all he knew. So of course he kept trying. When have you ever tried something over 1,000 times and still continued the course? I can't say I ever have. This guy did. His want was so strong and so nourished by all the fear and all the failure he had his entire life. He knew nothing else to do. He never knew success. He just knew what he wanted. And failure is all he ever knew. So of course it failed. He's like, oh, no problem. It's an average fucking day. I'm gonna keep on going. Every time it failed, the invention got better and better and better. So he kept going, finally it fucking lit. He had over 1,000 other patents too, by the way. Remarkable. More visual encouragement for the willpower and belief inside what you can do. Another guy out in the Far East, he's an engineer, He likes to work on cars, do engine stuff, and, grease monkey dude. So he wants to get a job, wants to get paid for what he loves. He knows what he wants, that's what he wants, man. So he goes to Toyota, the big car company in his area. I said, hey man, I'm an engineer, man, I can make some kick-ass engines and shit. He comes in and they talk to him, and Toyota's like, get the fuck out of here. You don't have the credentials, you don't have experience, you don't know what the fuck you're doing. Who do you think you can get out of here, waste our time? He's at home with his tail between his legs. Still wants to be an engineer. Wanted to do it. Liked it though, man. That's what he wanted to do. So he did it in his garage, scooters. Got on a scooter, drove it around town. And they was like, wow, That scooter, man, it's pretty cool. Let me try it. They tried it. It's pretty good. Now, it's like Toyota. Now, why you going to the old business, man? Be an entrepreneur. Make scooters. He's like, yeah, I love it. Why not? I'm going to do scooters. That's what he started with. That's not what he ended with. His last name was Hunt. You know, there's countless stories out there of people that hit failure over and over again. And I bring that up because that's what creates the want, the desire, the demand for something to change. That gives you a directional path. That's elbow out and see. You know how to take the wind coming at you in your favor to sail in the direction you want. But you're not sailing into some harbor at one point. No, you're going to sail in uncharted waters. And why? Because those uncharted waters lead to undreamt shores of possibilities. The common man is for every man. If you take 100%, that's your 30, 100%. Everything you got, 1% of that is inspiration. 1%. Yeah. The rest, 99%, is perseverance and dedication to see through.
Well, everybody, it's Groundhog's Day again for David Goggins. If you pan it down here, there's these behind pockets of ability. A car first inside. You pan over here, it's the same thing.
Send a message, like location. What do you want? Doesn't matter. I don't know. I'm back, motherfucker! I'm back! All of this fucking dog check the phone shit! I'm back! What the hell are we all looking for? Start attacking life! Some fucking stars to a line! Back when I was growing up, the song came out! All I need is America! Guess what? Let's go play country! Please don't put the country start! You gotta start now and changing your life! We're all being tested in life! And guess what? This is one test we can't cheat on! We all have our own test! Some of us want peace! Some of us are depressed! Some of us insecure! The military has a big old rucksack on your back! That batteries, all them extra people! You have to deal with the shit you deal with in life! And the only way to overcome it is for you and you alone to face it! You have to do your best work! You're at least motivated!
If you don't want to do it, like even yesterday, I was talking to them because it was Saturday and everybody complained about the title. What you all week you was working hard. End of the week, if you don't try it, this is good question. You have to worry about it. But it's a Saturday. You 6 days, you work so hard. Of course, you're not tired. Tomorrow, rest, and Monday, we have one. If you don't want to go back to Pakistan and stay with your mom, she's gonna give you every day good breakfast. You don't do nothing. Stay there. But if you can't do it, don't complain. You wanna become best. You wanna become champion. And now you wanna say like you're tired. Who cares? You're tired. Nobody cares. Even you, if you're gonna watch fight, you just watch fight. They walk out and inside the cage, they fight, and they leave. You don't know what happened behind the scenes. This is not your business. Nobody cares about this. Yeah. He was tired, he was personal problem, family. Nobody. You don't know. You just see how we fight and you go. And for this one, what attention. If you don't want, tell us. Go back to register. Nobody gonna ask about you. So without you or with you, your name, this is your choice. You wanna put your name there? Okay, what time? No?
I'd rather you hate me and get better than like me and stay the same. A lot of us full of shit. I found those people back in the fucking day. And sometimes they're still full of shit. We think they were working our ass off, working hard. You know, we've been working out hard in the gym for a month. But we haven't seen any results. So we get down and prove your pants and shit. You studied for 30 minutes to test. And you didn't do as much thought. What the fuck do you expect? You're not putting in the work. You have to do more. You gotta stop telling yourself that you're doing enough. In life, it's never enough until you feel this overwhelming feeling of shit, man. I'm not working the crowd. I'm not working everybody. I'm doing more. It's not until then. Once you get there, that's when you fucking know you've done enough. Stay hard. Think about how many years, months, hours, seconds, days, all that shit you have wasted on people who suck the fucking life out of you. Today's a good day for you to go through and shit can those motherfuckers. Shit can those motherfuckers who only call you when they fucking need something. Shit can those motherfuckers who can't get over shit. Who continue to bring up shit from the past. You can't move forward. Life is short. Life is precious. Spend that time with the people you love. The people you want to give that time to. Real friends, real family. Everybody else that is sucking up the air you breathe. You need that motherfucker to be hard. Stay hard. So you know, you ever go to the mall, there's this store called Build-A-Bear. And all these little kids are in that store trying to build the bear, the perfect bear that they want. Take it home and be happy. I'm talking about the fucking bear right now. So we have the same tools to do it with our own personal lives. And what happens is the query mind comes in. We have to find our new norm. A new norm is something like this. So I was going through SEAL training. It's only supposed to be 6 months. I was there for 18 fucking months. Kept on getting setback and setback and setback. You gotta change your mindset to know my whole job now is at 4 o'clock in the morning. I get the shit kicked out of me for 18 months. You gotta create that new norm. That has to be your lifestyle. You are the master of your own mind. Create that masterpiece. Be proud of yourself at the very end of it all. I saw some guys going through Navy SEAL training, and they were going through Hell Week, and they're getting their ass just beat. You know, in and out of the water, guys ringing the bell. They was suffering. And I was weighing like 297 pounds, and I had to make a change in my life. You know, I was at an all-time low, and I wasn't going anywhere, and I was exactly where everybody said I was going to be, which was nothing. So I had to make a change. I had to stop thinking normal. I had to stop thinking normal. I can no longer be a common man walking around doing common things. But no one taught me this stuff. It was like, I paid a trainer to come train me. Jenny Craig to come down and miracle my ass. None of this happened. It was on me. And that's the thing you have to realize. Everything you do, you may have some support, you may not, but it's on you. You have to make a decision whether you want to be a badass or whether you just want to be mediocre and everything's okay. But being a badass hurts real bad. You're going to find peace from going to war with yourself. Because we all got people look at me. The reason my story resonates with people
because I don't hide. I'll take second guy in. I will admit to it. People are great at hiding, so they want to find peace. No, you got to take your shit, fix your stuff in you. Don't just shove it.
You need, put them on the mental Rolodex in your mind. Give me what you want to do. Roll through your brain. Push. Instead of killing them with kindness, torture is success. In life, we have to continue pushing past the odds. Use everything this Lord has to give you for fuel. Stay hard.
We don't have a dungeon. I'm just willing to talk about mine.
Yeah.
Most of us aren't willing to talk about it. I'm going to talk about my dungeon. I wasn't getting into the dungeon of these guys' minds. I wasn't building that so-called mental toughness. Mental toughness isn't something that you sample. It's something that you live in every day. So when something hard would happen to these kids, like in Hell Week, it would draw on something that made them very insecure. And they look for comfort. Whenever hardness comes, and you know what it is, it may be different for you than it is for me, but you go back to your insecurities. And then you go back to your insecurities, you then look for comfort. But it was insecurity. And we all look for that cookie that your mom used to give you when you were sad, when you were sick. You look for our wife or our husband. You look for comfort. It's in those moments you must retrain your mind to think differently in health. The physical standard is not what they need to meet. It's a mental standard you must meet in life. So going back to when I was sick, I was hitting the physical standards. I wasn't meeting the mental standard. The mental standard is you must know how far you've come. Wow. I come 8,000 miles from where I started. And in that bed, and I thought I was dying because that story was long. That sick portion of my life was long. I didn't care if I died or lived.
But in those nightmares are where our demons lie. That's the domain in which they know we don't want to go into on those early mornings. It wakes up all these things that we failed at. Past childhood trauma. Those demons in those nightmares. That's what keeps us from accomplishing our dreams. All in your year, we got them. Their back is turned to the doorway. Because they know you ain't going to the nightland. But you're going in there. And when the backs are turned, you can rear neck and choke them out. Every one of them. That's the mentality you must have. And always have.
The most important step we're ever taking in life is our next one. A lot of us get our feet stuck in concrete. We get our feet stuck in concrete because we're afraid to make enemies. We're afraid to speak what's on our mind. We're afraid of being in that group of people. And when you walk away, we're afraid of what they might say behind your back. All that fear clouds your brain, clouds your thinking. One thing in life, you're going to always have haters. Embrace them. If you can walk on water, trust me, your haters will say you can walk on water because you can't swim. One thing, shut the fucking noise out. Embrace the fact that people don't like you. You need to do something right. Stay hard. Stay in fight. So their year is coming and gone. And a lot of us are the same place we were last year. What the fuck are you waiting on? We sleep one day of our lives. And we think we can take the days off. We think we have the right to sit back and give ourselves options on which way we're going to go in life. Am I going to run today? Am I going to work out today? Well, it's Christmas. It's New Year's. It's my birthday. Do you think time gives a fuck that it's Christmas, that it's New Year's, that it's your birthday? You give me some too many fucking options. Let me tell you one thing. Time is running out. You keep on sitting around wondering what the fuck you want to do. You're just going to run out of time. So make sure you do one thing. Stop following the crowd. They may take time off, but you can't afford to. Stay hard.
Let's approach our goals this year with a different mindset, a surgical mindset. When I was in elementary, our science teacher had us get a glass and put in the sink. He said, before you go to bed, turn the faucet on. Just one drip gets into that cup. And by the time you wake up, it'll be full of water. It was teach us about volume. I didn't learn about volume that day. I learned about patience. All I wanted to do was turn that faucet on and fill that glass up. That's not how our goals go. Our goals don't go fast like that. They go like that drip of water. But what I took from it is this. That drip of water was building that endurance in your mind. That drip of water was building that calluses in your mind. And that's what you need to have. This is a slow process. And that drip of water taught me that.
So today, I decided to try to PR my long run. So the first half of the run, I'm feeling great. My mind is clear, nothing going on. Think about nothing but my running pace, what I'm doing, my breathing, everything like that. Get to mile 15, I turn around, and the demons start to creep in. That inevitable walls creeping up on me. When you push so hard, something's about to give. And I started to give. My mind started to break down. I started to feel my legs starting to hurt. I started feeling dehydrated. Started feeling sorry for myself. Started looking around. No one knows I'm out here running. Why don't you go ahead and just stop? Call your girl, have her pick you up. And that's not a little bitch. And this is when your mind has to change. You gotta start thinking, I'm the grittiest motherfucker in the world. Your dehydration, lick your motherfucking lips. Your legs are all sore. You feel like you got really don't. You got sore legs. Get out of your head and stay hard. This is my life. I'm not that smart. I'm depressed. I have a horrible life. I have these two guys. One guy that, so I became this 297-pound person because it became my body armor. Because the inside was a fragile, weak, insecure kid. So I put this big man around it. So when people looked at me, I intimidated them. I scared them. But if they knew the real me, just a little punk. I'm this punk kid, a 24-year-old guy's body. So I tried to change my life and started there. I went to the recruiter's office. I went there, bad day at work. The bad day at work, I realized. Stay hard.
What was it about seeing suffering? That's really interesting, and I actually get it, but I want to hear you explain it. Why suffering was the thing that triggered that thought?
Well, for me, growing up, I came from a horrible background. I got called nigger every day of my life growing up. Lived in a small town. The Klan headquarters at that time was about 20 minutes from where I lived. One of the high-ups in the KKK, son, sat behind me in 2 classes, so he called me nigger all the time. Got my first car, they spray painted nigger, we're gonna kill you on it. So I was just an insecure, scared kid. And the only way I could find myself was to put myself through the worst thing possible. I had to figure out I wasn't gonna be a punk kid all my life. So the only way I could turn around was to suffer. I had to build calluses in my brain the same way I built calluses on my hands. So I broke the Guinness World Records for pull-ups a long time ago, but I failed at it twice. And I did 67,000 pull-ups in trying to break this record. So to do 4,030 pull-ups, I had to do 67,000 for training for that.
Wow.
And so what I realized is for me to become the man I wanted to become, I saw myself as the weakest person God ever created. But I never blamed God for anything he did to me. So I wanted to change that to be the hardest man ever created. Am I that? I don't know, but you had to have a goal. And my goal when I was sitting there, not going to school, being bullied, having no self-esteem, my goal was who can ever do it. And that'd be the only way that I can build this brain to handle anything that comes in front of it, callousing my mind through pain and suffering.
That's so powerful. It's such an amazing insight. So obviously listening to some of the stuff that you're talking about, and one thing that you say often is, it's hard to stay hard or get hard when you're living in, like you even said at one point, in a big mansion in Beverly Hills, right? Run from pain, we run from suffering. And one of the reasons, I've talked about this before, but one of the reasons my wife and I don't have kids is I firmly believe that you need something that is brutal, is difficult, is hardship. It knocks you off center. It makes you feel bad, because in the process of rebuilding and clawing back from that, climbing up, then you can become something. But unless you've been tested, unless you've gone through the ringer, you've got no hope. So how do you take somebody that you love and force them through that? And I think that what you've done is maybe the ultimate expression of that, which is how do you put yourself through it? or you don't have to do any of that. So in the end, like, what would your advice be to that 16-year-old kid who's staring in the mirror, does not like what he sees, but is still running from adversity?
Well, my biggest advice to him is that, first of all, he won't like what I say to him. You know, I'm going to say the exact opposite of what today's world is saying. So we read a bunch of books nowadays. As humans, we want to find out how to be someone else. What we don't do is we don't go inside. So really turn yourself inside out. Read the book that's in words. I get so tired of hearing people just talking. Like right now, someone may think God is just talking. You don't know me. So when I speak from passion. I speak from experience. I speak from suffering. I tell this young man or woman that the only way I believe, this is my experience in life, the only way you're ever going to get to the other side of this journey is you have got to suffer to grow. To grow, you must suffer. And some people will get it, some people won't. But they have to see what their journey is to start their journey. Several people live to be 100 years old. They have great lives, and they have great kids. The kids go to college and all sorts of stuff. But somewhere in their life, there was a point where they had a decision to make. They can go left or right on this path. The left was the easy route. The right was the hard route. A lot of people take the easy route. And they had a good life that way, but the better life was going to the right side. And you may have 20 years of pain and suffering to get past it. But a lot of us die never truly starting our journey. And I would tell this young person, you gotta start your journey. It may suck, but it will come out the other side where you're comfortable. People talk about discipline and determination, repetitions and all this consistency. And why people fall off the wagon so often is because their mind is full of shit. There's no room in that mind for discipline. There's no room for consistency. They may do it once or twice, but then the mind takes over and that cluttered garage comes in. And then it's like a circuit breaker, man. A circuit breaker just overloads and sparks. And our minds, that's our mind, man. It's like a circuit breaker that's so much shit, you keep on loading it, you can't put any more into it. So I talk about it in there. So much about clearing space in your mind so that you have room. All those discipline, waking up early, taking those, because they do mean something. But we don't get to that dark matter that is keeping you from clearing out that mental garage. Because this world we live in is tough. It's tough. It will beat you down. The world in the life that we live in is the ultimate competitor. It will try to take you out. It will find your weakness, and it will just hammer you.
It's like a personal coach.
100%. So if I can help you build belief, build confidence to the point where nothing can hurt you because you know exactly who you are. You've faced your demons. You've been able to go on an audio book in your mind. Maybe you didn't write a book, but in your mind, you were able to hear all your past traumas. You were able to listen to it. You're able to say, okay, now I can now talk to people about what I went through. I'm no longer embarrassed. I'm no longer ashamed. Being ashamed is one of the biggest things that kill people nowadays. In their minds, kill them from moving forward. I'm ashamed of myself. Don't ever be ashamed of anything you've done in your life. Face it, fix it, make it better. We are humans. But then again, if you always think that we're humans, you want to go in the archives of your life, because while you're probably fucked up, there's probably something happened to you in your life. Go through the archives, dig it up. Yeah, I actually have a daughter right now. Yeah.
No way, I didn't know.
Yeah. Right now. But that being said, I'm an open and honest person. When you meet people at a young age, so I had a kid at a young age when I was in the worst possible place in my life. So when you're in a bad place, you're not going to meet a Kish. You're going to meet a person that's very similar to who you were at that time. And then you bring a child into this world. And as you start to move up in this world and get better, and you realize, I need to get better, you try to pull that person along with you. A lot of times they don't want to come where you're going. And it creates a bad environment. So That's what that is right now.
Got a question. How do you transform yourself from ordinary? The first thing you gotta do is the exact opposite of everybody else. I own a bulldog. I've owned lots of dogs in my lifetime. But I've never seen a dog eat like this. You put the food down, she buries her face in the bowl and attacks it. Never looks up. Stop worrying about it. I called the breeder. I asked the breeder, what's up with this shit? She said, yes. That's Puppy. There's limited food. So they attack it. They're afraid they won't eat. So I figured she'd outgrow it. 6 years later, got her own goal. Her refrigerator full of food. Her mentality's the exact same. She acts like there's 20 puppies out there trying to steal her food. If you get that kind of mentality, you'll be successful.
We have two voices in our mind, and boy, I know they're fucking true. I've heard them. I hear them now. And they're real. There's that one voice. That voice I used to love to hear, that we love to hear. It's that soft mother. That soft mother. The voice that says, sleep the fuck in. It's okay. It's that calming voice. You want to be hugged and nurtured and all that. That says, it's going to be okay. Well, there's another voice that wakes you up in the middle of the night. It's not your girlfriend. It's not your boyfriend. It's that demon voice that whispers in your ear that says, get up, motherfucker. You're not good enough. You gotta work harder. You gotta put it up to big. You should dream big. Dream big is important. You know, some of us will be doctors, lawyers, dentists. Some of us want to be in special operations. So you have this big dream, you can see it so clearly, like it's right in front of you. You can go out and touch it. But the thing about it is, somewhere if you dream big enough, somewhere down that journey, that dream becomes a nightmare. And what happens in that nightmare, so they have all these questions, like, if you want to be a special ops, you may not be a great swimmer. You may just realize that I'm not a great runner. You may start to fail tests, and all these questions start to flood your mind. Why am I here? I'm not good enough. Trust me, I know all about the questions. They will flood your mind. If you do not have the answers for them, you will quit. The answers lie in the repetitions. You must not forget the repetitions you put into trying to dominate the craft that you're in today. Always, always embrace the suck, adapt to the suck.
What the hell are we all waiting for? Start attacking life. When the stars to align, back when I was growing up, the song came out. All I need is a miracle. What? That miracle ain't coming. There is no perfect time to start. You gotta start now with changing your life. We're all being tested in life. And guess what? This is one test you can't cheat on. We all have our own test. Some of us are obese. Some of us are depressed. Some of us are insecure. In the military, we have a big old rucksack on the back. Have batteries, water, extra gear. Your extra gear is a bigger deal with the life. And the only way to overcome it is for you and you alone to face it. You got to do your best work when you're at least motivated. So if you know what to do it, guess what you got to do? You got to set up to do it. Stay hard. There's so many times in life you don't want to be doing what the fuck you're doing. You can't just quit. Remember this. It's in the hobby. It's in a joke. It's a lifestyle. So what you say to yourself is important. There's no fucking coach. There's no trainer to keep you going. It's only you. So think about this. You've been working your whole life to get a seat at the table. The seat at the table is going to be the best amongst all the best people in your career field. So you finally get that letter. It's steak, lobster. It's a big dinner. Everybody's showing up. Dressed to the nines. Make sure you soak your wet from getting after it, working out hard. Towel around your neck. You respect the event. So make sure you put that towel on that nice chair so you don't get up. The whole thing is this. Don't say a word. Stay uncommon amongst uncommon people. You're never done. Don't stop when you're tired. Stop when you're done. Stay hard. So I got an email the other day. This guy's talking about he's struggling to get up. Wants to go to the gym and start grinding early in the morning. I said, when I was 24, I had the same condition. I had the same problem. So I started studying it. The more I studied it, I came with this crazy conclusion. I'm just being a bitch. When I say bitch, it's not gender specific. It's a mindset. In Godlish, it means weak, soft, feel sorry for yourself. Get your ass up and raise him up. Stay hard. If this dog is 17-hour flight, and I'm sitting there thinking, take a day off. No one will know. But I keep on thinking too, there's always someone out there getting harder than you. I'm haunted by that mother. Know that there's someone out there that's willing to forgo personal desires for comforts, forgo sleep, forgo whatever it takes to be better, to be the best. In life, a lot of times, a lot of us have that person out there. There may not be a name or a face to him, but he exists. You make sure in life when you think about that person, you make sure they put a name and face to it. You make sure the name and face is yours. You do the hustle. Get in somebody's head. Own space. In those times when you want to quit, because we're all human, you make sure you remember one thing. All those times and hours and days, you sacrifice to be the best. Stay hard. So I get a lot of questions over the holidays. The one major question I got was, how do I finish where I started? I get 2 weeks into it, and then I stop. But this is the thing about it. People forget one thing about me. I used to be you. I used to be a guy. I got to take care of myself. I got to get D's and F's in school. A guy that blamed other people. A guy that was under mediocre. I wasn't even average. So this is the thing about it. I'm going to tell you what people don't want to tell you. Why you stop? It's because you're lazy. It's because you don't mind getting bad grades in school.